Evan stood alone in the long metal hallway, holding a small piece of paper in his shaking hands. It was a rent notice. A warning. A final demand. Humans were already treated as weak outsiders on the alien colony, but missing rent was something worse. Something dangerous. He looked at the giant steel door in front of him. Behind that door lived his landlady, a giant alien woman named Ryla, known for her strict rules and cold voice. Other tenants whispered stories about her. They said she could crush a person with one hand. They said she could hear fear like a sound. Some even said she collected useful humans who disappointed her. But Evan had no choice. He had run out of money. He had delayed this moment for too long. Now he had to face her. He took a deep breath and pressed the glowing call button. A loud, echoing hum moved through the hallway, almost like the building was waking up. The air grew colder. Lights flickered above him. Evan rubbed his arms and waited. For a moment, nothing happened. The silence grew heavier. He could hear his own heartbeat. Then, a deep click echoed through the hall. The door slowly unlocked. A soft blue light spilled out from inside the room, stretching across the floor toward Evan's feet. It almost looked like a hand reaching out to him. The floor vibrated slightly, like something large was walking toward him. Then the door opened. Completely. And there she was. Ryla, the giant alien woman, stood inside her doorway, towering above him like a living mountain. Her skin was dark silver, smooth like metal but warm-looking. Her eyes glowed pale gold, watching him with unreadable calm. Her long hair floated gently behind her, almost like it moved on its own. She did not blink. She did not smile. She simply stared. Evan felt like a mouse standing in front of a lion. He tried to speak, but the words stuck in his throat. His mouth felt dry. His legs felt weak. Ryla lowered her head slowly, bringing her face level with his. Her enormous eyes focused directly on his shaking hands, where the rent notice still trembled between his fingers. "I see," she said softly. Her voice was deep but clear, almost echoing inside the hallway. "You have come to speak of your rent." Evan finally found a little strength to speak. I'm sorry," he whispered. "I can't pay it this month. I'm trying. I really am. I just need more time." Ryla continued to look at him, silent and still. The golden lights in her eyes faded darker, like storm clouds moving through them. Most alien landlords simply charged more credits, or kicked the tenant out. But Ryla was different. She was powerful, respected, and feared. Humans were careful around her. Everyone was careful around her. She leaned closer until her shadow completely covered him. "You cannot pay your rent," she repeated. Not a question. A statement. Evan nodded quickly. "Yes. But if you give me a week, maybe 2, I can." She raised one long finger, and he went silent immediately. "I do not require your excuses," she said. "I already know the truth." The hallway lights flickered again. Evan felt cold air brush across his neck, as if someone had blown softly from behind him. He turned, but the hallway was empty. Ryla stepped out from her doorway. The floor shook gently with each of her movements. She circled around Evan, studying him like a scientist studying a fragile creature. "You have been struggling for many cycles," she said. "You have worked hard, yet you gain almost nothing. You are alone here. No family. No allies. No protection." Evan swallowed hard. How do you know all that?" Ryla stopped in front of him again and leaned down. Her face was inches from his. "Because I watch my tenants," she whispered. "Especially humans." His stomach dropped. There was something dangerous behind her calm voice. Something she wasn't saying. She gently touched the notice in his hand with one clawed finger. The paper curled and burned away instantly, turning into silver dust. Evan gasped and stepped back. But she did not move. "You fear I will punish you," Ryla said. "You fear I will remove you from this building. Or something worse." Evan's heart thumped loudly. What else would you do?" Her lips curved, not into a smile, but something colder. Smaller. A hint of a secret. "I have no interest in removing you," she said. "I have other plans." Evan felt every hair on his neck stand up. The way she said it, calm, soft, almost gentle, made it even more frightening. Before he could ask what she meant, Ryla turned and motioned with her hand. The lights in the hallway brightened, glowing like liquid gold. "Come," she said. "There is something I must show you." Evan froze. "Show me? Show me what?" Ryla looked over her shoulder, her golden eyes glowing brighter than before. "The reason," she whispered, "why you cannot leave this building. And why your debt no longer matters." Evan felt a sudden weight in his chest. The rent was no longer the problem. The rent was nothing now. Something much larger was waiting for him beyond that door. Something he was not ready for. Something he could not refuse. Evan followed Ryla slowly, each step feeling heavier than the last. The hallway stretched in front of them like a metal throat, humming with quiet energy. The deeper they walked, the stranger everything felt. The building wasn't silent anymore. It breathed. It pulsed. It watched. Ryla did not look back at him. She moved with calm, controlled steps, every motion silent even though her sighs should have shaken the floor. Evan wondered if she was holding back her real strength, or if this was her natural grace. He wasn't sure which thought scared him more. He knew he should turn around. Run. Escape while he still could. But something about her voice, her eyes, her presence, it locked his feet to the floor. They reached a large metal door, unlike any he had ever seen. It wasn't part of the normal building structure. It was smoother, darker, and alive with faint blue lines traveling across it like veins. Ryla placed her hand on the surface, and the door reacted immediately. It vibrated, hissed, and then opened with a slow, deep sound, like a creature waking up from a long sleep. Evan stepped back, feeling a cold wind rush out from the room beyond. The air smelled strange, like metal, electricity, and something old. Ryla spoke without looking at him. "Enter." Evan shook his head slightly. What is this room? I've lived here for a year and never saw this door before." "That is because it was not meant for you before," she said. "Now, it is." Her answer only confused him more, but he forced his legs to move. The room was dim, lit only by soft blue light rising from the floor. It was large, much larger than the hallway. Walls curved inward like the inside of a giant shell. The air felt heavy, pressing against his skin. Ryla entered behind him, and the door sealed shut with a loud echo. Evan flinched. She noticed. "You are not in danger," she said calmly. "If I wanted to harm you, I would not need a door." Her honesty didn't comfort him at all. She walked toward the center of the room, where a strange circular platform rested. It was covered in glowing symbols and small silver devices that looked like floating shards of glass. They moved on their own, spinning slowly in the air. Evan stared. What is all this?" Ryla turned to him, her golden eyes softer now. "My people built this chamber long before your species ever traveled the stars," she said. "It is older than this colony. Older than this planet." Evan blinked. "Why is it here? And why bring me?" Ryla stepped closer, her shadow mixing with the blue lights around them. "You humans do not realize the strength you carry," she said. "Your emotions, your memories, your choices, they create an energy unique to your kind. A rare energy. A needed energy." Evan frowned. "Needed for what?" Ryla paused. For the first time, she looked unsure. "Our survival," she whispered. Evan felt a sharp sting of fear in his chest. "What do you mean, our survival? What does this have to do with my rent?" Ryla lowered her head slightly. "Your rent was only a doorway to this moment. I knew you would come to me eventually. You had no choice. You were already chosen." "Chosen?" Evan repeated, confused. "Chosen for what?" She extended her hand and pointed toward the floating shards. They gathered together, forming a glowing ring. A soft humming filled the room, vibrating through Evan's bones. This machine, Ryla said slowly, requires a source of emotional energy to activate. My people cannot produce the right kind. But humans can. You, Evan, you can. Evan's eyes widened. He stepped back. Why me? I'm not special. I'm just a worker.
I'm nobody.
Ryla knelt down, her face close to his again. You are not nobody, she said. I have watched you. You help others even when you are suffering. You share food even when you have none. You smile even when your world is breaking. Her voice softened, almost warm. That makes your energy powerful. Evan didn't know what to say. He felt small, exposed. So you want to use me? Drain me? Like a battery? Ryla shook her head slowly. No. Not drain. Connect. Connect. Evan whispered. This chamber amplifies the emotional energy of one human, she said. It strengthens us, heals us, gives us life. But the process, she stopped. Evan felt a cold wave run down his spine. The process what? Ryla looked away for the first time. It is painful. It is dangerous. And no human has survived it before. Evan froze. His breath caught in his throat. He whispered, then why bring me here? Why show me this? Ryla looked at him with something deep in her eyes. Fear. Regret. Hope. Because you are different, she said. You are stronger than the others. And because I have no other choice. My people are dying. The blue lights brightened, casting long shadows across the room. The floating shards spun faster, humming louder. Evan backed away until he hit the cold wall behind him. Ryla reached out her hand, slowly, gently. You have my promise, she said. I will protect you. I will not let you die. But I need you, Evan. My world needs you. He stared at her hand. At the machine. At the glowing symbols. This was no longer about rent. This was something far bigger. Something terrifying. Something he never asked for. But the door was sealed. And Ryla was staring at him with desperate, golden eyes. He knew this was only the beginning. Evan stood frozen as the machine's blue lights circled the room like slow-moving stars. The air felt heavier now, thick with something he didn't understand. His stomach twisted with fear, but he couldn't look away. He felt trapped between danger and the unknown, between the alien woman and the strange device that seemed alive. Ryla rose to her full height again, towering over him. For a moment, she didn't move. She only watched him like she was waiting for a decision he hadn't made yet. But Evan wasn't ready. Not even close. How long have you been watching me? He finally asked, his voice unsteady. Ryla's eyes glowed faintly. Since the day you arrived on this colony. Evan felt cold. Why? Why me? Ryla walked past him, moving toward a glowing console on the wall. Her silver fingers brushed over the symbols, and a soft hum filled the room. The floating shards of the machine responded instantly, rising higher and forming new shapes, circles, lines, patterns he could not understand. You humans shine in ways you do not see, she said quietly. Your emotions create waves, beams, light that cannot be replicated by any alien species. I don't understand, Evan whispered. Ryla turned to him again. This colony is dying. My people are losing their energy. The core that keeps us alive is fading. We needed a new source. And long ago, one of our scientists discovered that humans could produce the energy we lack. Evan felt dizzy. Energy, from our emotions. Yes. Pain, hope, fear, courage. Humans turn those things into power. You do it without even knowing. Evan looked down at his hands, confused, lost. But why pick me? There are thousands of humans here. Ryla stepped closer. The floor vibrated softly with her movement. She raised a hand and projected a hologram into the air. Evan gasped as he saw something impossible, footage of him. Working, talking, helping a friend, carrying supplies for strangers. giving away his last food packet to a hungry child. He felt exposed, naked, like someone had been reading his soul. Ryla's voice softened as she continued. You carry strong emotions. You carry pain, but also kindness. You make choices that create powerful energy, even when your own life is difficult. The hologram shifted again, showing Evan late at night in his small room, exhausted but still smiling at a message from home. Ryla watched him with strange gentleness. That is why the machine reacts to you. That is why it must be you. Evan felt the room closing in around him. This was too much. He wasn't a hero. He wasn't special. He was just a man who couldn't pay his rent. A man who came to space because he had no other opportunities. I can't do this, Evan whispered. I'm not strong. I'm not anything like what you think. Ryla slowly knelt down again, bringing herself to his level. Her golden eyes were softer than ever before. You are wrong, she said quietly. Strength is not about power or size. It is about choice. And you have made the right choices even when nobody was watching. Evan swallowed hard. But you said, no human has survived this machine. Ryla looked away for a moment. A rare sign of regret. Yes. Then why bring me here? Why show me all this? He asked, voice trembling. She sighed, a deep, heavy sound that shook the room. Because time is running out. My people do not have days left. They have hours. The energy core will fail soon. And once it does, our entire species may fall with it. The room vibrated again, as if agreeing with her words. Evan looked at the machine. The floating shards glowed brighter, spinning slowly. They looked beautiful but deadly. Like stars waiting to explode. What if I say no? Evan asked softly. Ryla's eyes dimmed. Then we die. And if I say yes, he whispered. Her lips tightened. Then you may die. The silence between them grew thick. Silence filled with fear, pressure, and the weight of two worlds. After a long moment, Evan took a shaky breath. There has to be another way. Ryla shook her head. There is not. He stared at her. She was strong, powerful, feared by everyone. Yet in this moment, she looked fragile. Desperate. Afraid of losing everything she had ever known. Evan looked back at the machine again. Blue light reflected in his eyes. The weight of the decision pressed on him like a mountain. As he stepped closer to the device, the room changed. The floor lit up under his feet. The floating shards spun faster. The air hummed like a song rising to a climax. Ryla reached out suddenly and grabbed his wrist, not to stop him, but to hold him steady. I will protect you, she said. I will guide you. You will not face this alone. Her touch was gentle, warm. Evan took a deep breath. Tell me what I have to do, he said. Ryla's eyes widened slightly. A spark of hope flickered inside them. She gestured toward the glowing platform. Stand there, and whatever happens, do not let go of your memories. They are your power. Evan stepped onto the platform. The room darkened instantly, leaving only the machine's blue light shining around him. Ryla activated the device. The shards moved closer, forming a circle above his head. Wind rushed around him. The lights brightened. And the machine woke up. The entire chamber trembled as something ancient, powerful, and hungry began to pull at Evan's emotions. His vision blurred. His heart thundered. His body felt lighter, weaker. Ryla shouted something, but her voice sounded distant. Then a bright flash filled the room. And everything went silent. For a long moment, Evan heard nothing. No sound.
No breath. No heartbeat.
Just silence, deep, heavy silence that felt like the whole world had stopped moving. Then, slowly, sound returned. A sharp ringing. A low hum. A cold whisper of air around him. Evan opened his eyes. He was still standing on the glowing platform, but something was wrong. The entire room looked different. The blue lights that once moved gently were now flickering wildly, like they were fighting something. The floating shards of the machine were spinning fast, too fast, as if they might break apart at any second. Pain hit him next. A burning pressure inside his chest. A pulling force in his mind. As if something was reaching inside him, searching, digging, tearing. He gasped, dropping to one knee. Ryla rushed forward, her face filled with shock. She slammed her hand on the console, trying to stabilize the machine. The symbols glowed red instead of blue, warning her that something had gone terribly wrong. "This is not possible," she whispered. "The machine is drawing too much from him." Evan tried to speak, but only a weak sound escaped his throat. His vision blurred again. He saw flashes of his life, images appearing around him like floating memories. His mother's face. His first job. His failures. His hopes. His loneliness. Each memory flickered brighter, then dissolved into light and flowed into the machine. Ryla's eyes widened with fear as she saw the energy streaming out of him faster than she expected. "Stop!" she shouted to the machine, slamming the controls again and again. "Not like this. Slow down." But the machine did not listen. It was alive now, driven by hunger, by desperation, by a force older than either of them. Evan tried to stand, but his legs shook violently. "Ryla, help." "I am trying," she said, voice trembling, something he had never heard from her before. "Hold on, Evan. You must hold on." The shards suddenly stopped spinning and reformed into a sharp ring of light above Evan's head. A beam shot downward, connecting with his chest. The energy hit him so hard he screamed. He wasn't just losing his memories. He was becoming them. Turning into pure emotion. Pure power. Ryla slammed both hands onto the console, sending sparks everywhere. "This machine was never meant for someone like you. It is reading you too deeply. You have too much emotional strength." Sweat rolled down Evan's face. He felt like he was burning from the inside. "Turn it off." "I cannot." Ryla shouted back. "The machine has locked itself. It believes you are the perfect source. It will not release you unless—" She suddenly froze. "Unless what?" Evan gasped. Her glowing eyes dimmed with fear. "Unless you fight it." Evan's heart sank. "How do I fight something inside my mind?" Ryla took a step toward him, her giant form trembling with urgency. "You must remember who you are. Hold on to your strongest emotion. Do not let the machine decide your story. You must decide it." The room darkened again as the machine pulled harder. Evan's body began to glow with white light, so bright Ryla had to shield her eyes. "No," she whispered. "It is taking too much. This is not how it should happen." The platform beneath Evan cracked. The walls pulsed. Alarms rang from deep within the building. Evan felt himself slipping away. His memories blurred faster now. His mother's voice faded. His childhood disappeared. His smile vanished. He felt empty. Alone. Gone. But then, something small flickered inside him. A spark. A memory the machine could not erase. The memory of the child he helped on his third week on the colony. A hungry kid crying alone in the cold metal street. A memory of him giving his last food packet to a stranger. That emotion. Hope. Compassion. Kindness. Burned stronger than anything else. The machine reacted instantly. The shards shook. The beam flickered. The room trembled harder. Ryla gasped. "He is resisting. He is actually resisting." Evan forced himself to focus on that one moment. That one choice. That one good thing. He felt warmth. Strength. Purpose. For the first time, the machine stopped pulling. It hesitated. Confused. Unsure. Ryla stepped forward, placing her hand on the glowing ring above Evan's head. "Listen to me," she said firmly. "You are stronger than this machine. Humans are stronger than we ever understood. Show it your will. Show it your heart." Evan screamed, pushing back with everything he had left. The light burst from his body, exploding outward in waves. The floating shards shattered, scattering across the room like broken stars. The beam cracked, then died. The entire building shook with a deep rumbling sound. Ryla ran forward and caught Evan as he collapsed off the platform. His body was weak, barely holding together, but he was breathing. He was alive. But something was different. Ryla froze as she looked down at him. His skin glowed faintly. His heartbeat echoed with a low vibration. And his eyes, when he opened them, were no longer human. They glowed brighter than any alien light she had ever seen. Ryla whispered in shock, "Evan, what have you become?" The room flickered, then went dark. Everything fell silent. But inside that silence was something new. Something powerful. Something waiting to awaken. The chamber was dark now, lit only by the faint glow coming from Evan's skin. He lay in Ryla's arms, gasping weakly as the last sparks of broken energy floated around him like dying fireflies. Ryla stared at him, stunned. She had seen humans suffer before, seen them struggle, seen them break. But she had never seen anything like this. Evan's eyes opened slowly. And they glowed. Not blue like the machine. Not gold like her people. But something new, something intense, white mixed with burning silver, alive with motion. "Evan," Ryla whispered, her voice almost trembling. "Can you hear me?" He blinked, confused. He felt heavy, light, cold, warm, all at once. His mind felt too big for his own skull. His breath shook the air. The floor under him vibrated when he tried to move. What happened to me?" Evan whispered. Ryla helped him sit up carefully. The machine was not meant to do this. It was not meant to give anything back. It only takes. It only consumes. Evan looked down at his hands. They were glowing brighter now. When he touched the floor, the metal rippled like liquid, reacting to him. "I shouldn't be alive," he said. "No," Ryla admitted. "You should not." He tried to stand, but something strange happened. The shards of the broken machine lifted from the ground, floating toward him like they were drawn to his presence. They circled him slowly, glowing faintly. Ryla's eyes widened. "The machine is responding to you. Even broken, it still obeys." Evan didn't understand. He felt energy inside him, moving like a second heartbeat. Every emotion he had, fear, hope, confusion, felt bigger, stronger, dangerous. "What am I now?" he whispered. Ryla took a step back. Not out of fear, but out of awe. "I do not know," she said. "But you are no longer just human. And no longer just energy. You changed the design of the machine. You changed the rules." The walls around them groaned loudly. The building shook as if reacting to Evan's presence. Lights across the ceiling flickered back to life, brighter than before, almost white. Ryla turned sharply toward the door. "We must leave. This chamber cannot hold this kind of power." She grabbed Evan's arm gently, guiding him toward the exit. But the moment her hand touched him, a wave of energy burst out from his skin. The door slammed open without being touched. The air hummed like something alive. Every light in the hallway flared as they stepped out. Evan looked around, confused. "Why is everything reacting to me?" Ryla swallowed. "Because you are connected to the building now. To the systems. To the energy network. You are a new core." "A core?" Evan repeated. "Yes," Ryla said. "But stronger than ours. More unstable. More unpredictable." She moved quickly, guiding him down the hallway. Alarms were now echoing in the distance, deep, booming sounds that shook the entire structure. Ryla suddenly stopped and turned toward him. "You cannot stay here," she said. "My people will sense this energy. They will come. They will want to use you, control you, or destroy you if they fear you." Evan felt the floor shake under his feet. A surge of light ran up the walls like electricity. "I didn't ask for this," he said softly. "I know," Ryla replied. "But this is our reality now. We must move." They continued toward the exit of the building, But before they could reach the elevator, the floor ahead of them split open, slowly, silently. A tall figure rose from beneath the surface, wrapped in dark armor with glowing gold markings. Evan froze. Ryla froze. The armored alien stepped forward and knelt, kneeling before Evan, not Ryla. Ryla's eyes widened in shock. No, no, this cannot be. The armored figure spoke in a deep voice that echoed through the hallway. Corbearer, it said, bowing its head. The council felt your awakening. We are summoned to escort you. Evan stepped back, but the floor behind him lit up, blocking his path. The building itself refused to let him leave. Ryla moved between Evan and the armored alien. He is not ready. He cannot control the power. You will kill him if you force him to move. The armored alien lifted its head slightly. Then he must learn quickly. Our world needs him. He is not your tool, Ryla snapped. He belongs to the council now, the alien replied. His existence has already changed the energy flow of the colony. If not trained, he will destroy everything, including himself. Evan felt a sudden pulse of energy rush through him. Lights exploded overhead. The ground shook violently. He grabbed his head, feeling pain ripple through his thoughts. The armored alien pointed at him. You see? He cannot even stand without destabilizing the entire structure. Ryla placed her hand on Evan's back, steadying him. You will not take him. The alien rose to full height, towering even over Ryla. You cannot protect him from what he already is. Energy swirled around Evan, rising like smoke, bright and dangerous. Stop! Evan cried out. You're making it worse. Ryla squeezed his shoulder. Evan, listen to me. Whatever happens next, do not let them control you. Do not let them decide your fate. The armored alien raised a glowing staff. The walls around them opened, revealing a massive transport vessel outside. Armored soldiers stepped forward, surrounding them. Ryla stepped in front of Evan again, ready to fight even though she knew she might lose. The soldiers pointed their weapons. The hallway trembled. Evan's glow intensified into a blinding white light. Evan, Ryla whispered, whatever happens, remember your choice. The room exploded with light. A shockwave blasted through the colony. Everything turned white. And then, silence.